What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players, to another installation of the Siege Double Shot. Coming at you LCQ style. I am still the Reverend Whiskey Glitter, and with me, as always, my partner and co host, Mr. Whiskey Run. What's up, Whiskey?
Welcome everyone here to the North America League. This is, he said it, the Blast R6 six invitational LCQ, the literal last opportunity for anyone, and we do mean anyone, to make it to the six invitational. These are the open qualifiers. Anybody could register. We had, let's see, 73 teams last week, 81 registered this week to try and fight it out. Not all of them made it through to readying up in time for Challenger mode, but this is it, my friend. Last week, Core and Loyalty is Scarce were the top two teams that made it in, with Fluffy Aimers, ex Fluffy Aimers amid the controversy, and the ex Luminosity roster, now Friendship Team, were 3 and 4. They didn't make it to the playoffs. They got to fight through the whole single elimination bracket again, just like everyone else. So here it is, my friend, our opportunity to see the next two, and we're starting here. Round one, Mouse One taking on Team Dope.
Okay, couple of names on the left side of the board that you're very familiar with. If you've seen the double shot, we've cast them a slew of times on a couple of various teams. On the right side of the board, a little bit less known, but one big one that stands out, an absolute gunner, Pro Manthano on the team.
Yeah, that's right. Between these two teams, we said anybody can make it, and we meant it. They're all available here. Anybody could register a five stack. So this Mouse One team, though, made it decently far in the open qualifier last week. So here it is. Where are we going, though? That's the big question. Defines how this game is going to run itself out. The map bans, my friend.
That's right. Let's look at it. I always can see within the first three layer off the board. It's just an instant. Okay, fine. Bank, Layer, Skyscraper, the first three to fall. Night Haven, Chalet, and Consulate, which means the two news off the board as well. Three news off the board. Clubhouse, Border, which means we're going to take it all the way to Cafe.
That's right. KAFE, certainly in the new meta, my friend, has started to be one of those maps that everybody seems to love. And I don't know, maybe it was the change up that went to no longer having Oregon in the pool has made it a more of a map that people love to play competitively. But we have certainly seen a rise in KAFE play recently.
100%. Absolutely. It seemed like every single match that we're covering, every other one is headed to Cafe, which means we've learned a lot about it. Talk about a solve site 3F, going to be probably one of the more difficult to break into, but they're going to have to do it without Monty. He's going to be the first ban off the board.
Yeah, I mean, we're still, even though all of the shield changes here with Year 9 Season 4, tons of shield change happened with the obvious addition of Blackbeard as well to a big part of that meta. Still important parts of the attacking, which means that they're going to be part of the ban phase as well. So it's going to leave Blitz on the board. He's the one that had been making it through routinely, but on the defensive side, it had been near 75% rate. Azami and Valkyrie as the two that were gone. Some of the notable exceptions, though, Mira also one, making an appearance, especially here on Cafe. There's a couple great Mira spots that these teams don't want to have to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. You're holding that second floor with an extension up to third. Mira just don't want to deal with it. I imagine probably be the Azami going to be the last one taken off the board. Her ability to just hold is incredible, right? Creating all of those different areas that you have to push into, where you have to expend some gadget util, where you have to get a Flores in or grenades or something, just makes her incredibly difficult to deal with. So they're going to get her off the board. There's your bans, folks. Monty, Blackbeard, Mira, and Azami going to be gone. We're going to take it up to the third floor to start us out, as we're looking at kind of a stacked up defense here.
Yeah, that's right. And, I had wondered when we were going to start to see it, right? Blackbeard initially was not being played very often. He wasn't being banned because the teams hadn't really started to get used to it. Then it was a relatively quick shift as teams started to play Blackbeard more often. We saw in our first Mukbang League on Play Day 1 that Blackbeard was used to tremendous effect to completely dominate an engagement, completely dominate a map. And then ever since then, really, we've started to see him banned out on basically all of the maps we've had a chance to cast. So I think that was it. It took a little while for him to get accepted into the competitive meta, and then it didn't take long for him to start getting banned because of how good he was.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't want to. They just don't want to deal with him. That AR when he ADS is just insane with a little bit of shield cover. Looking at this, Orc's going to get a little active early here as we're trying to pin out a spawn peak on the right-hand side, getting ready for a run-up, but they're going to double up on it as they're bringing both from this second floor, trying to put some pressure on equal sides when they run. Nobody going to get a kill. Nobody going to get even some damage as they were set up and ready for it.
KAFE's got a lot of great spawn peaks, but everybody knows it, right? And when you see a team starting to take advantage of it and win some of those fights, it can be really demoralizing. So staying away, avoiding the engagement, at least to start, or making it to just sort of a half-hearted, right? Maybe a little bit of ghost pressure and thinking about it in that way. But just not needing to commit to the spawn peak and waste your life early. Good call from both of these sides. So they're starting off a little bit slow. Perseus being really the only one that's up taking those engagements. And he's running the robot, right? He's running Scopos, so he's got another 100 HP ready and waiting, and you just saw the switch there as he makes the shift upstairs.
I love the new operator. It's incredibly fun. It makes the flank present, and if you don't do your due diligence and suss out where that other Scopos bot is at, you find yourself in a real pickle towards the end of the round. Clash going to be doing their best to hold on to Cigar here. That's guarding that hatch drop, guarding that red staircase, and just like that, not going to be even a factor, a non-factor, you could say, as they just fall immediately. Perseus, the last alive Scopos, and they've got that devastating Dokkaebi right on the screen.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a problem there, and you can see the diffuser going down, smoking, getting that one. Yeah, they're gonna. Oh, I was gonna say, what was that? That was a down, but happened so quickly. Just waited for the switch. I think he got the audio cue that was making the switch. It didn't take down the idle shell, which obviously I think they could have made that round a little bit easier. But Team Dope taking number one on attack. The hatch drop, the execute happening very quickly, and with a trio of kills coming out there to start with, set them on a good path for the first round. Not going to ego check it though and go down to the first floor as for round two.
Yep, absolutely. Take it down to the basement or down to the bakery. Maybe get yourself a bit of an extension. No castle on the board for the defense here, Whiskey. So not going to really be leaning into that extension. Still can, right? We still can have the extension towards Coat, and you can see them setting up with the head holes on that right now. But going to do it with a little bit a couple of off-brand characters, right? The Frost makes sense. I like the alibi call, but not something that we generally see here for this first floor.
No, yeah, I love seeing Alibi because she's one of my favorite ops, but really not a staple in the competitive community. So fun getting a chance to see her. And obviously, I think when we get on the attacking side, if Nomad's not playing Nomad, it's a really a missed opportunity for Siege poetry. So we're gonna leave the Frost out there, and we'll see whether or not this Team Dope team is ready for some of those Frost mats to be able to catch them off guard. See what this team puts together, and bringing out that Valkyrie. We know how good she is on KAFE, so they used up that ban on Mira instead, leaving Valkyrie available.
Not a bad call, Valkyrie. I mean, if she's available, we're going to use her. That's the thing. You got to have the counter strat for it. So bring along the IQ to suss out exactly where those cams are going to be at. And they're making quick work trying to figure out exactly where it's going. On the side of the attack, a little bit of a standard setup, right? They're going to be leaning in to garden onto that flank as the gridlock is out and about. IQ for that cams. Dokkaebi to take and steal that intel, not to mention the devastation of the DMR. No solid wall at all on the top of white here. Gugs is going to find that first kill. Alibi ringing out with that storm.
Yeah, that's right. Playing on white, they weren't ready for the push in. I mean, you're playing first floor. You know that freezer is going to be an important part of it. But man, they peek Gugs again on those white stairs. He claims a second. Definitely going to slow this thing down though. The flank coming out from Pro, taking care of that white pressure and presence. So now a little bit more free. They still have got to deal with the the Warden playing over there in VIP, though. The most important next step here in this execute.
Yeah, absolutely. So starting to open up this first floor, get a little bit of that top-down look, a little bit of a bird's eye view. Try to suss out somebody rotating back, but everybody's already down, right? One sitting in VIP, one bakery, and one in the kitchen. So still spread out a little bit, put some pressure on it. They're going to find that first kills. Pro's going to take Scuda off the board. Now into a 2-2, but he's a low health situation. Pro sitting at that 4-0. Talk about one of the players to watch here. He's got kind of a tough hill to climb with such a low HP.
They got that. We said the most important part. Take care of VIP. They got it. Now they've got the freezer side of this map. Like you said, the trouble though is making the push in, and oh no, Perseus in the prone position, making a lot of noise. Out and fire. The last one left alive for this Mouse 1 defense.
Yep, C4 rings out, and that is going to take Pro off the board as the last
What a
alive. The
shot.
battle for Freezer. Yeah, the no-look fadeaway caught him with it, and now it's going to be some danger off the chassis here as a grenade rings out, and he puts the pressure on. Fire gets some coolant dumped right on top.
You know what? After your latest TikTok video, I'm not even sure which are the magic words you're trying to hit here. So you're gonna catch me off guard the entire day, as far as I know. So this time though, the ego check gonna come out, going back down to the first floor. They're hoping that was a fluke. Can the Warden hold on to that VIP? A little bit more engagement, a little bit more danger there from the bottom of the mid-level on White Stairs. Bring out the Melusi to try and slow this attacking team down. I like that combination. We haven't seen I don't feel like we've seen, at least from the observer perspective, a ton of droning or a ton of intel. This has definitely been more, in-your-face engagement-based siege play, but this Mouse 1 team bringing out the mute as the counter just in case that's the style they want to play it.
I like it. Bring it, right? They go back down to the bakery. They're going to run that one back. And they do sit 2 in the hands of the attack team, right? So, I mean, that feels pretty good if you're on the attack. It's the quota met. Right now, you can kind of sit back. Anything outside of these first 2 wins is going to just add to your defensive half. So in a good position to start out if you're team dope. Looking to see a little bit of adaptation here out of Mouse 1 to bring this first floor back into their favor.
Yeah, that's right. And using that, rather than intel deny, using it to try and hold on, protect some of these walls, going to protect the ace. Smoke bringing the ace the last round. This time, they're going to have a little bit more difficulty with the double up on the breach and out combo from the Cade and that mute. So I like that strategy. Gugs this time taking over that spawn peeking role away from Perseus. Going to take a few shots and not catch anybody. He's going to go back down to the White Stairs to hold that position down. The big change up, though, Warden playing in prep in that bakery door, as opposed to playing back in VIP. That one back over to fire on that mute.
Look at all of this gadgetry that Bravo's just getting in and stealing away. Melusi traps, cams, and that's the tough, right? You get a Melusi trap when you're in the last few minutes of a round, could be absolutely detrimental when you're trying to get back in and retake site. Now, they do get the clutch drone gone, and one of the Melusis that's stolen, but some of that damage has been done. We still sit 5-all as the first minute has counted down.
You know, we said if you just joined us, welcome everyone here to the 6th Invitational Last Chance Qualifier. We talked about Mouse 1 in the setup, about how good this team was in Open Qualifier number 1. They came in 6th place. 6th place, beating out Karn & Co., Bay Harbor Butchers, and a few of the other teams that were playing, Space Shubes, that were playing as part of Element 4. So this was a roster and a team that put together a tremendously good run as a part of it. So if Team Dope is able to put up even a few rounds on this Mouse 1 team, I think they're going to feel good about it because they played very well together in that last Open Qualifier.
So a couple of quick trades ring back and forth. Finds fire. Gug's gone. Pro and Gridlock off the board. Does take us into a 3-3 with 63 left on the board. A quick swing. Scooter going to find Smoke off the board. Now takes us into a 3v2. A 2-2 as the shots from outside still being a menace, still being damaging, and finding the Warden. That was a huge pick. So Ash to push in, gets rid of any sort of gadgetry near the door, but they're going to take the swing. Nomad takes tilt off the board. Now takes us into a 2v1. Ash, the lone alive, the entry left outside and alone on an island.
Yeah, that's right. When your entry is left 30 seconds left up in a 1v2, I mean, Fonzie here has picked up one. He's got the assist, but they know exactly where he's at. Not enough time to try and make any sort of a big rotate. Just going to have to try and win a shot, but Nomad, this time playing the Cade, takes him down with that sniper shotty.
Okay, first one on the board for Mouse 1. That first bit of round rotate is over and done. Didn't see the turf site. Maybe here on the second half of the first half of this first map. Is going to take us up to the 2F to start us out. So a little bit of a switch up and bringing out that castle that we were talking about. That's great to help facilitate that extension. One thing that you can know is with a castle and a Valkyrie on the board, you're going to be leaning into holding on to that verticality.
Yeah, I mean, I think based on the way we've seen this play out so far, Team Dope obviously doing a great job in the 1v1 gunfights. That third floor dangerous for holding the long angles, maybe giving a little bit of advantage to that team. So I like the Mouse 1 adaptation here. You lost round 1 on 3F very quickly. Change it up, go play the second floor. This time forces Team Dope to continue that still top-down clear, unless they're going to go for some sort of quick execute and still have to get back down to the second floor. Hopefully plays a little bit into the hands here of this Mouse 1 defense.
Okay. So what are we looking at here as far as the attack? Not very much variance coming out, right? We do see that Grim being six picked out for the Zofia. Oh no. We've lost Ed Whiskey. Oh, there it is. It's back. We're here. It's all good. Little bit of a internet faux pas, but we are still active and in it. The round's going to get started as Valkyrie's going to start putting those cams up top, looking for some of that C4 play. There's two of them on the board and a couple of proxies to help facilitate that. On the side of the attack, Nomad is going to be brought out for sure. Guard that flank, help find out and suss out those roamers with the Dokkaebi, and then of course that verticality that we talk about so often. Buck's going to bring that to the table.
Yeah, I mean, it has been, if you were watching any of the EU League definitely had some struggles with internet. It seems like it has been that way across the board today. A little bit surprising, but not entirely unexpected. So we're going to cross our fingers that the observer feed continues to hold on throughout the rest of this match. But you know what? It's live siege. There could be some live problems. It's a possibility here. So we see that, boy, right now, Bill could be taking over the observer's feed as well.
That's right. Okay, so still sitting 5-5 as the clock starts to tick down. The first minute gone, allowing the drones to do what they do best, right? Suss out where these defenders are. Take that space, take that real estate, and then start to put some pressure on from the verticality. Here's going to be that first bit of engagement here. There it is. They walk across the danger field, and Perseus is going to find the first kill off the back of a C4, and that's going to take the Zofia down. Oh. Man, a couple of shots down towards white, though, is going to force them back into the piano area.
All right, holding on, trying to find some of these, but right now, Team Dope, you can see all those orange outlines. They have got a lot of control upstairs, but how many players do we have upstairs from the Mouse 1 team? Still 3 playing on 3F, taking the fight and preventing this Team Dope team from pushing down onto that 2F, just killing time. Minute and a half gone, so still plenty of time left available for these attackers, but to already have lost 2, it's going to be a little bit, make this certainly a lot tougher. And they do still have the Buck and the Ash, so they've got some opportunities for vertical control still.
Yeah, but they've got to take it first, right? And you've got 2 people, 3 people up top to shut that down. Castle, Legion, and Scuda sitting on that. Jesus, sitting onto that Solus is going to make it incredibly difficult. They are going to find Fonzie off the board. Does put us into a 5v2. Plenty of time still. And some can openers to put some. Oh, never mind. Make out the double and call it flawless. It's a double pump to their chances at winning that round right there.
Had control and had the red drop, the ticket area, cigar, but never able to fully clear out the rest of this attacking or this defending team as they're holding on to the 3F. So Fantastic job there from Mouse 1. They tied it up. I know when we were sitting saying in a 2-0 kind of a scenario for the attackers, looking very good, but Cafe, a little bit of a defender-sided map. Right now, I think if you're Team Dope, you're saying you found 2, you won 1 on 3F, you won 1 on the first floor. Mouse 1 adapts, goes to the second floor, finds a win. The good side, if you're a Team Dope fan, is they've got to go back to one of those 2 sites that they had already won. We're going to see the 3F now come back after that round 1 loss.
Tied up 2-2 whiskey as we head up to the 3F. Some more of that coveted slowdown. They're going to stick the alibi, which is a little bit different, right? I like it though, right? The gun, absolute laser beam, especially if you're pointing it towards the head area. But the ability to suss out where the folks are off of a mistake of shooting a clone, absolutely huge, and can lend itself to some of that C4 that we watched earlier. There's 2 of them on the board to help try to do that again.
Yeah, that's right. So watching it get set up, I like the combination of the this alibi and the cap can, right? Sort of a bit of a visual distraction technique. So if you see the defense focusing on trying to clear out or watching out for the alibis, maybe they're gonna not walk through or walk through one of those doors unaware. So and I love this setup that he's got using the double alibi to try and block the pixel angle. And if you're just going to take some shots through, going to ping yourself out, you're going to have to use explosive utility to try and clear out at least one of those clones.
Yep, absolutely. So completely set up here on the 3F. Jesus, man, that is making it difficult. That sucks.
Yep, those the tech problems, unfortunately, there, but we're gonna get through it here on round 5. Another great pause. You know, getting a good view of how these defenders are setting up. It's like pausing the DVR to watch the game, catch those details.
That's exactly what's happening. It's not an internet issue. It's showing you why and how it's set up. A little bit of a highlight for you. See this mute jammer? E for the drop of the hatch, and here's why: because it stops all of that intel from coming from the top of red or jumping in through that hatch. Get rid of some of those drones, and that's why we showed that one. It's a little bit of a switch up, Whiskey, on the attack side of it. They're going to bring the Deimos and the Grim out this time. So a little bit of a dedication or investment into the intel, right? I love the Deimos call. Find a way to suss out where those roamers are without having to put yourself necessarily in danger. And then the util drop, the util jump for the execute. Grim just being an absolute menace for that.
Yeah, and one of the things we love about the cap can is hopefully catching some of this attacking team off guard. But in this case, right, great use of the IQ playing up on the roof. None of those defender gadgets out of her reign as she makes the pass across the whole roof, trying to find which one is it going to be. But look at that, Gug shooting through his own clones to take out the repeller. And Tiketh going down outside the building, but he's quickly answered back.
Yeah, but the damage has been done, Whiskey. It's a 4v2 with so much time left on the board for this defense to hold it out. We're going to have to see a little bit of an equalizer. Instead, it's going to be
No
a double
way!
pump to the top of red, and they're
No
just
way!
going to take him down. Sheesh.
That mute, he's playing on top of a jammer. I mean, obviously the attacker's completely unaware. They go for the drop to push in to take it, taking the fight, and Cigar absolutely annihilated with the SAS shotgun, shutting down that attack before anything could even get started. Mouse 1 taking another, and that's their third in a row, including the full round rotate at that point. So they've seen a 1F, they've seen a reading, now a 3F win, adapting better than Team Dope is right now to start off with. So got to go back to one of these. First floor, it is going to be to finish out the defending half here for Mouse 1.
Okay, back to the first floor. A little bit of a toss-up on that one, right? Got to see a bit of a different strat. Now, the last time we saw it, they were able to hold it down fairly dramatically, right? It took the first couple of opening kills, definitely put it in their favor, and then it was the push down the brown stair that was especially devastating towards that push towards whiskey. So we'll see if they're going to bring out a similar strat today. That you are going to see a dedication to the intel as Mozzie and Valkyrie on the board. But here's the switch up. Here's the highlight: Clash and Fenrir being brought out now.
Clash and Fenrir. What a change up from a defensive perspective, changing the lineup. We did see the Clash early on from this Mouse 1 team, but very ineffective in general. This time, though, changing up. Going to see Gugs playing that. And then, like you said, the Fenrir coming out. We used to see Fenrir banned all the time. Not going to be the case here. Going to be played in combination with that mobile intel from Mozzie you talk about it in combination with the mute. So they're sort of leaning into denying the intel there from Team Dope, making sure that the drones are not going to be a problem. The counter, though, love seeing this, the Brava on the other side. Pro picking up Brava and looking to steal some of that intel and potentially steal it back from Mozzie.
That's right. A little bit of a hack off to ensue, potentially, as long as those clutch drones are able to stay alive. A Fenrir would be a great pickup here. Oh, mm, are they also having issues, huh? Interesting. A Fenrir gadget would be a great pickup, but there's all kinds of cams and intel to be had here. So what then becomes the focus? Do you just take those Fenrirs off the board, shoot them, steal them to your advantage, or are you really wanting to lean into the intel side of it? We talk about it being a game of intel and opportunity. Well, Valkyrie, one of the greatest to do it, and Brava, to take those could be huge.
Yep, it looks like it. FPS problems on the player's side too. Gee, what a day! What a day for Siege in the SI Open qualifiers. You know, it's one of those problems, right? We're not on a LAN. Everybody having to struggle through some of those tech issues. So my guess is we're going to see a pause after this round. We're going to try and make it through though. 3-2. Only need one more, and right now, I wouldn't say there's a ton of pressure on either one of these teams. Mouse 1 picks up one, standard 4-2 half on the defensive sided map. Team Dope did their work on the attacking side, getting there too. Team Dope wins one, little icing on the cake, and nothing Mouse 1 couldn't come back from for a team that got 6th place in last week's out of 75 teams. So they put the work in and got results.
That's right. Okay, so the hold down on the freezer looks like we're going to do a bit of a top-down clear here as IQ sits up on top of the roof to suss out where those cams, those Fenrir gadgets, and those Mozzie drones and the mutes are sitting at. So a lot of util for IQ to suss out and point out to the other teammates, but you got to stay alive to do it. So instead, going to take a drone and find out what's sitting on floor number 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the advantages I think that IQ's got. We talked about for third floor. She can be up on the roof, identify all those gadgets 100% from safety. In this case, down on the first floor, IQ has either got to be working it from the outside, which leaves the whole interior of the site available and open, or part of the top down clear. She works to clear out each of the gadgets one floor down, but she's part of this push in that's going to be taken white.
First kill does find Mute taken off the board, but it's answered back as Scoot is able to take down Ace. Gonna stop getting that wall open as they didn't bring any other can openers or even any soft breach. So a little bit of a tough situation there. Getting your hard breach gone means you're gonna have to do most of this the old-fashioned way, a little in through the door push. And to do that, you're gonna have to get past Gugs on the Clash. It's not a situation that I would find very ideal.
Yeah, you're going to need to have more than just a direct engagement there to take down Gugs on the Clash, like you said. It smoked down, unfortunate there. You've lost one, but taken down Fire as well. So that was sort of the backup to the Clash. But Gugs may be getting a little bit risky with his life. If he walks outside that door, exposes himself, dangerous place, but backed up at least by the rest of this team. Nomad and Scuda taking down 2 huge kills, putting in a 4v2 in this last round of the first half.
That's right, and they do have the down there on pillars. Perseus was dealt with, but he'll be recoverable potentially if IQ doesn't take this kill from the top. A little bit of a bait action that they're trying to probably pull him out, but it is going to be IQ, the last alive. Fonzie alone on an island here. It's a 1v3, and they know exactly where he's at, so it's going to be the push towards Brown, try to take one, and they are going to find it. So that's one down and one actually down. So a 1v2. The problem is you've got to deal with Scuda, who sits 9-3, and Gugs on the Clash. So a difficult situation to find yourself in, and no grenades to push them back either. So gonna be looking for that combo move, right? Take the Valkyrie off the board, and instead just get wrecked.
Instead, just get wrecked. That's right. Picked up instantly, gets the kill. So obviously a good play there from Pillar. You had all three of the defenders waiting and trying to hold on. Now we did see one of the players say that they had an FPS issue. I think we're gonna go into. I thought we were gonna go into a pause there. Right now, at least from a game perspective, keeping the game flowing the most important part. And we know it's not just you, it's not your internet buffering. That's the observer's feed struggling through it. So we're gonna keep watching and waiting to see whether or not hopefully it's gonna pop back up. But we're gonna fight through the third floor now on the side swap. So Mouse One gets that standard 4-2 split. They go onto their attacking half and like this. You see the dot coming out. I mean, he's become a staple of the defensive lineups here in Year 9, Season 4.
I know. When did that happen? It feels like just yesterday I was talking crap about the doc and how niche he is to several situations that are set up, but now everybody just taking bits and pieces off of each other made him incredibly necessary, right? All of a sudden, if you're not going into that situation full health, you're going to find yourself on the back end of the losing scene. So yeah, we've seen Doc on here quite a bit. Going to be no exception here as we see the first round of defense here for Team Dope. And they're going to lean into some of that slowdown, still bring out the intels. We've got Pro put onto the Mozzie, right? The cap can, fun. It's going to stop that pressure, that presence in Ticket if it's not sussed out. And then Bandit to hold on to those walls and Doc to bring you back up. It's not a bad defensive setup here.
Yeah, the potential there, counter on the offensive side. Interesting that they were gonna play this Amaru anyway, right? Fire on that op, Scuda switching on to it to make sure that they've got somebody that's playing Amaru. So that says to me something, a little bit of extra pressure here coming from this Mouth 1 team. Something special gonna happen, and hopefully quick. We've seen the Amaru do some crazy things when that happens.
Look at that. Looked like it's almost going like for the 2-floor look through there, right? Both parts of that soft beat breach being opened up. So interesting play. Yeah, Amaru on the board, Ying to couple with it, and Gugs getting themselves on the Nomad to slow down any sort of flank opportunities that are happening. Look to see some of those air jabs get set at the top of red from the hatch area. But yeah, Nomad not playing Nomad feels like a miss there.
I mean, you either got to completely lean into it or completely avoid it, one way or the other. So we'll see the way that this one runs. Gug's going to be the one picking up the Nomad, but look at that, taking shots from through the window. Gug's outside on terrace to be able to take that shot, and it's the danger of the windows, and it looks like they're going for the hatch drop right now with the Amaru coming up through heaven window.
That's right, and Ying Candel's going out. They do find themselves falling onto Elysian, but that'll be the only goo set out here as Elysian was taken off the board. Looking to put themselves into a plant, and they take it to 50. They take it to 75. The quick plant is on, my friends, in the smokes, in it, and looking for a C4 to potentially stop it. No, it's a post-plant scenario, my friends. They do get the C4, but not in enough time to stop the plant from going down.
Well, and it was on the wrong person. They picked up the cocktail kill, not the bar kill right on the bottom of the hatch. So look at this, Pro coming in, gonna find one, but they've got coverage. This attacking team coverage from upstairs in the skylight. This is gonna have to be a 2-man hold and win on this.
Oh, just barely missing out on the head that was peeking here. So instead, get a little bit close, and they got a tough spot to find themselves in for too, because it's just a quick peek from that skylight to stop any sort of action. Now that's cocktail window taking a bit of fire. Perseus is going to take smoked off the board now into a 3-2. Oh man, Gug takes down Pro, and that's going to leave Fonz the last alive in this in their defensive round, and it is going to be attack to take round number 7.
Was that a 4K coming out from Gugs? He picked up two from the windows, and then I believe another one. There it was at least a 3K. So a heck of a run for him, holding the windows, taking the shots from above. Great cross set up there by the Mouse One team, and an unfortunate that the C4 connected with the wrong person over on the cocktail side rather than stopping the plant from going down. He was a little bit outside of the smoke, planting a little bit close to the bar, so maybe a bit of a good distraction. Just well played there. So Team Dope going to try it again. Go for the 3F hold one more time, thinking this is the time that they're going to be able to hold on. So no real engagement there from the cap cam, but that skylight drop usually only works once. So we'll see if they're brave enough or dangerous enough to try it again. They're going to go for a different kind of hold with this Glaz Cali combo.
Yeah, interesting on the long range. I like the call. I think it's fun. Um, Couple it with the Nook, who could potentially be coming up from that main lobby, put pressure on from the brown stairs up to the white, up to the red. You know, some way to help facilitate some of that sneaky play, catch somebody downstairs with the C4 in their hands. There's 2 of them on the board, mind you, both Smoke and both Capcan and Valkyrie going to be utilized here. I think the big part, the win condition for a quick plant not to happen here is keeping those guys alive within the first 30 seconds of the round, right? You lose that early one, they get the man advantage. They're going to want to exploit that and push quick.
That's right. So there was a change that happened to the Grim, where it seemed like he lost one of his canisters, but Ubisoft acknowledging that appeared to be a bug that's going to be fixed in one of the next patches. So I was wondering about that being a balancing change, or apparently confirmed as a mistake.
Who lost it? What did you say?
Grim, I think Grim had lost one of his canisters, but I think that was Ubisoft had confirmed was a mistake and was going to be corrected in a future release.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, that intel dump from Grim going to be absolutely huge. Those bees being devastating when sussing out and putting the vertical on and getting the execution down. Yeah, he needs all the bees he can get, Whiskey. So 5-2, we find ourselves as Mouse One is on that coveted match point scenario, and they brought along a pretty fun lineup to do so, to try and get themselves there. But it's not to be outdone. On the side of the defense, they're leaning into that slowdown, 3 trap ops, a little bit of intel, and a projectile tonight. Now, if Pro gets those my discs up on close to the skylight, could really do some damage to the Nomad, or not to the Nomad, to Nomad who is on the glass, and trying to get those smokes into a better position to get that plant down. That's a tough one to say, Whiskey.
Hey, you know what? You worked through it. You're fighting through it just like we are on the tech side, right? Sometimes you just can't win them all. And in this case, the Observer, he's not paying his internet bill. That's what we're fighting through. No, I'm kidding. Scuda, though, taking down Fonzie, and he's not going to have to worry about an internet bill at that point. The problem is, though, Team Dope, 5-2. They have got to get something special together here on this defense. Right now, Mouse One just running over them.
Yeah, and Cali opening up everything. Now that is going to find the first 2 off the board as Scuda and Nomad get taken down. Does give the man advantage over to Team Dope here as they find themselves up in a 4-3 scenario after that initial loss of Legion yet again. But still got to deal with that long angle, Whiskey. They got the glass off the board, but they've got a backup. Cali is still there being a menace from the rappel. Pro to take down Gugs. There goes that aforementioned Cali. So it's a bit of a B dump here as they're looking to suss out anybody making the rotate off stacks. Still have 1 Candela in the pocket as well. So they're going to send it in and try to take some of this space here. And there it is. It's the push to white. Flashes do come out from those Candelas as they're going to quickly stymie his own approach up white and wait for somebody to make that swing over. 4v2 with a minute and so left on the board.
I was gonna say 4v2, a minute left, but unfortunately you have Fire holding on to the white stairs. Perseus playing out on the rappel, not in a position to really do any damage. So this time, gonna see maybe Team Dope throw some bodies at it. They still have got 4 left alive. There's no need to get crazy throwing at it because you still want to try and win this and hold on. Perseus, though, like you said, in a really tough spot, and it's gonna be Tiketh that gets it.
Yep, wrapped up in the crossfire. They're going to find their third round, the first in many since since their initial first 2 wins. Starts to see a little bit of movement here out of Team Dope. They were kind of getting close to being taken out of it. Now just 2 around from tying it up. 1 round, all the difference it takes.
Yeah, I mean, we had been struggling there. Or we had been struggling. Team Dope had been struggling there. That was 5 in a row for Mouse One. 5 in a row. They back when the Team Dope won round 1 and 2, and then after that point, it had been all Mouse One. They were looking nearly unstoppable at that point. 4 in a row on defense, 1 on attack to start it off. Finally, though, a bit momentum switch as Team Dope finds one on the 3rd floor. So now we're going to get to see how they handle the 1st floor down in kitchen, cooking and service. And yeah, I mean, they're going to have to do something crazy here, or at least try and win a round to keep Mouse One from getting onto that match point to start with. But we said it, Mouse One, very, very good. This Team Dope team is going to have to do something special.
Absolutely. And so what do they bring to the table, Whiskey? They're going to bring a little bit of that breach denials. The bandit's going to be on the board. Stick to that, some of that projectile denial. Jaeger going to be used here instead of Wamai. I believe that'll probably be for the hold inside of Bakery. And then there it is, Doc back on the board, but they're looking to get active on the Mouse One side, showing currently the Blitz and the Sens. Sens just getting that new rework recently, right? A button to turn it on and off has had some really fun implications towards getting that execute, and all of a sudden there are walls up everywhere. Oh, 1 second, Whiskey.
Walls up everywhere. You said it. Holding on, trying to avoid. Now, so they've got the double reinforcement into Bake to try and prevent that from holding. And with both, you got both Legion and the Jaeger holding down the Bake, small Bake area, and this is a really late setup here coming out from Team Dope, just now getting that white wall reinforced. Smoke's got 2 more bandit batteries left, so my guess is going to try and get these walls up quick and then seal them off before this attacking team can make the push in. But wow, it's a really late push. Well, right now, I mean, Prod struggling, my co-caster struggling, Team Dope struggling. Right now, Mouse One is the only one that seems to be firing on all cylinders as they pick up another here to start this one off with a kill and a down to start off round 9. They're looking very good for match point. The good news is you still had Doc available. It looked like he was going to pick up Tiltsy playing the Fenrir using that, but it's going to get closed out just as quickly because this Mouse One team has basically got control of a bottom white. They've got control of VIP and Whiskey at this point, pushing in from bottom brown over towards the small Bake side.
That's right. Nomad takes Fonzie off the board, now puts us into a 5-2, a difficult situation as they start to collapse. Oh wait, that wasn't what we just watched, was it? What a shot. The quick peek, and he finally gets himself back into the Bakery. He's going to allow himself to heal back up, and the Fenrir is going to do its job, and so Fire's going to go down in a hail of bullets, now into a 1v3, technically, as the Blitz has been taken down.
I mean, look at that. They're able to pick up the Blitz. I didn't think it was going to be worth it to try and pick up the Blitz, but I mean, when you've got 4 players and you've got everybody available, why not? Looked like Doc was taking really too much of a risk, crossing this open hallway, taking shots. It's a little bit of a distraction, though, as it is going to be Fire in that Bliss to come around and take that final shot there on the small backdoor. So well played by Mouse. They were in with control of VIP, White, and eventually the site at a minute 54.
That is definitely the way to get it done. That's why you bring the blitz. That's why you bring the sends. Just immediate space taking, right? Grab that real estate. And then when people are starting to rotate back to site, pick them off, fish in a barrel, easy peasy. We find ourselves on a 6-3 easy.
There it is, match point for the first time here in this first round of the Six Invitational Last Chance Qualifier. Mouse won, looking to shut down Team Dope's run in Game 1. Now, it is a single elimination bracket all the way through best of one, so it's a one and done kind of opportunity. I know when we were talking about this tournament last week, we said the double elimination side is your ability to play in the last chance qualifier. Number 2 starts now. So this is it. We're essentially in the losers bracket here. No more opportunities. This is it. The loser going home and going to have to wait until next year to try and qualify for SI. The winner moving on to fight it out in this single elimination bracket for the rest of today and tomorrow.
Okay, so back down to the first floor, the first. Back down to the first floor, Whiskey, as we're going to see the Thunderbird being brought out. And if you're new to this season, Thunderbird got themselves a rework where if you hit that cuffed gadget of hers, it's going to take you up, albeit a little bit slow, but it will take you back up to full health. I'm hoping to get a little bit more action out of the Thunderbird here in the competitive scene. And look, we're going to see it right now.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was a good change. We almost never saw Thunderbird played, and I'm pretty sure during Montreal, I don't know that any team had played Thunderbird. It potential for the entire major. I don't know if she did get picked up at the very end, but there was a point during that season no one had played Thunderbird in competitive play. So her changeup, the way that her gadget works, the number and duration, and the quantity of heals that you get, a huge change for her to bring her a part of this defensive meta. So I like having it. I like the health operators. It gives the teams a little bit extra to try and work with, and sometimes makes the rounds last a little bit longer. So, and it's an investment in your teammates to try and keep them alive rather than focusing on a piece of offensive utility. But right now, speaking of offense, 2 players in the server down. It's a 4v4 with 2.5 minutes left.
Yep, and it doesn't matter who's playing the Legion, it still seems that he's going to be the first to fall on the side of the defense almost always. They do get the down onto the Warden. They find themselves now into a 4v3 situation. Potentially recoverable. No, he's going to get taken down, and Jaeger going to find himself on the back end of that as well. So a switch over to the rotate as they start to push in and put the pressure on here. This bakery side of it, they're playing ring around the Rosie, and they're going to find him from the bottom of red. Give no man a double.
Wow.
Yeah, that is definitely one for the highlight reel, and now a 4v1 turned it into a 4v none.
That's right. Mouse won, taking that a 7-3 victory on round 1. What a game from this team, pulling it out and shutting down Team Dope to start off with. Great run by this team. Love what they were able to put together. And despite what we got to see here, a little bit of observer feed issues, but we are glad that you all stuck with us, at least to support us, to support the players, and to see how the next version of this tournament is going to play out. 7-3 victory here for this team. But my friend, it is time. We're going to take a little bit of a pause and see what we can't put together to try and survive through the rest of this bracket. So I think it's time for a break.
Yep, I think you're absolutely right. And you did hear Whiskey mention my newest TikTok video. Go check it out. We snuck some words into the cast off of a challenge. It was incredibly fun to do. We're going to try it again. So watch a couple of videos while we get our feed situated. But sit back and relax, because when we come back, we're going to try to bring you a second map. Ayo.
Let's go.
All right, what's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. Well, speaking of spectate, was a little bit of a tough point for the last match, so we're gonna go ahead and set up a new feed. But the unfortunate part about that is that the stream must go down for a few minutes while we get the delays and everything set up. So we will be back. We will be bringing you another match. You're just gonna get all of the fun of a live noti once again when we get there. So folks, we appreciate you understanding. There's still a lot more last chance qualifier coming up, eh, Whiskey?
That's right, my friend. Short break, 4 or 5 minutes to get the stream re upped. You don't even have to leave the Twitch page in order to get that and stay there. So we will be right back.
Cool. Sit back, relax, because when we come back, we're bringing you another map. Ayo.
Let's go.